Welcome to Monday Night Soccer on Cable 7. We're live from Queens Athletic Field. This is Frank Malvasso along with Joey Presta. Joey, we've got the championship game for the senior men's soccer division.
That's right, Frank. Yesterday, these two teams played to a 1-1 draw, 90 minutes of soccer. We couldn't decide a winner yesterday. They're both tied at 1-1. They played some great soccer. They had a long intermission, long halftime intermission, because it's a two-game total points, and for sure we'll have a champion today.
We'll be right back with live action. Here on Cable 7, we've got the championship game between Canadian Builders and Italia Flyers. This is Frank Malvasso along with Joey Presta. We're in the, as we say, the second game of a 2-point total score championship game here, and maybe what we can do, Joey, is wrap up what happened in the first game.
Well, Frank, yesterday we saw some real good action up here. It was a 1-1 draw, and at the 20-minute mark, young Joey Lombardi broke in from the left wing, made it 1-0 for the Flyers. In the second half, Renato Nicolucci replied for the Canadian Builders with a beautiful head ball, beautiful goal from a corner kick at the 74-minute mark. And these teams are ready to do battle again here this afternoon. So we'll see what type of adjustments both teams have made, and we should see some real good action again here today.
So we're ready here for the kickoff. And we should indicate here that we've got these two teams have switched jerseys. So we've got Canadian Builders here in all white uniform today, and also we've got the Italia Flyers in the blue and white. Yesterday we gave you our picks for this contest, and we indicated that in terms of the goalie, the Canadian Builders had the edge with Marino Scarcelloni and Robert Palladino being the two senior goaltenders there. In defense, we called it an even matchup. Brian Ashton, a key player for the Italia Flyers, Preston Sabadin doing extremely well for the Canadian Builders. Midfielders, we gave the edge, and we saw that clearly in the whole game. Danny Palladino and Renato Nicolucci doing a fantastic job for the Canadian Builders. And the strikers, the edge we gave to the Flyers in terms of players like Joe Lombardi and Danny Ashton. So Canadian Builders have a bit of an edge here in terms of a team makeup, but as we saw in the first game, Joey, this could be a very tight and even contest.
That's right, Frank, and there's also a saying in soccer, the ball is round, and on any given day anything can happen. Both teams pretty evenly matched. You're right on your picks. We saw it yesterday. Real good defense from both teams, really strong on defense. Midfield, yes, the Builders had a bit of an edge on that. The forwards, I think that was pretty evenly matched, and one of the comments I'd like to make on that is that if the Flyers are going to be successful, they need a bit more effort from the part of young Danny Ashton, who's a fantastic forward up there. He's the leading scorer in the league, and he should have a better game today, I think.
So we'll, in a second or so, we'll put up our referees for this championship contest. And we've got Pesha Severnek in the center playing the referee, and we've got Mr. Belly on the far side, linesperson over there, and Denise Garapi here on the near side playing the line, as I say, towards the sideline on our side here. As you can see, game is underway, and Penn for the Italia Flyers gives that one up to Zalasis. True ball there to D'Agostino. Rodrigo's there to bother him a bit. Ball gets punched into the Builders' end. Danny Palladino now looking for Tony Giorgi. Comes off of Enzo Beretti. And we've got an offside here. 3 strikers for the Canadian Builders team. A little over anxious, and we're somewhat behind the defenders there for the Italia Flyers.
It was an offside trap played by the Flyers, and it was played to a T. It was perfect, and caught 3 of the forwards maybe daydreaming a bit.
Brian Ashton now takes the free kick for the Flyers. Through ball here to Barrett. Barrett tries to get to the outside of D'Agostino, but Brian Ashton is there. Bit of a late challenge there, but referee says play on. Enzo Benedetti now, hey? Kicks that ball out of play, I should say, and as does that as a result of the injury. You can see there in your screen. Looks like
that's Dave Barrett down on the ground, and he got hurt on the tackle with Brian Ashton. Not sure what the injury is, Frank, but they're out there looking at him now.
Looks fairly severe. David Barrett is not the kind of person to exaggerate an injury, and looks like there was some contact out there, but it's hard to say exactly what happened. We'll see a substitute here, number 19 coming on the pitch, as you can see on your screen. Woody Cimino, who was the goal scorer to get this team into the championship round against Croatia Adria, one and only goal in that game, played last Monday.
Frank, I guess I owe Woody Cimino an apology. It was him that I mentioned got the yellow card yesterday, but on further investigation, and I was told today that the yellow card actually went to Brian Ashton yesterday, so Woody Cimino does not receive a yellow card. And there was also one other yellow card issued yesterday, and that was to Dave Barrett, the gentleman you see on the ground there now. Those yellow cards have no effect in this game. The yellow cards are just for the game being played, so all yellow cards are cleared for this game.
So as you can see, we're still awaiting the substitution here. Mr. Cimino is waiting for Dave Barrett, who's still lying on the field, in order to make that exchange. Looks like David may have sustained something more serious than anticipated. And it's hard from this angle to see exactly what it may be. It certainly doesn't look to be favoring a leg, but yeah, as I say, it's hard to see with the crowd of players there. In any event, this game has been temporarily halted at about the 4-minute mark, and see if they're just starting to get up now, and we'll see what he's favoring. Maybe a leg. Getting some assistance from his teammates there. Looks like he's clearly going to the dressing room, Joey, so we will definitely see a substitution.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was an injury to his ankle that he sustained. They probably went over it, and the ground is soft. The rain has stayed away for the duration of the games, both games, but it did rain in between, and the ground is soft. I'm sure he just went over on an ankle there on that tackle. But sad to see a player like Dave go off, because the Builders rely on his speed and strength up front.
As you can see, he looks like he's favoring his right leg, not putting any pressure or weight on it. And as we see David Barrett come off the field, you can see on your screen now Marino Scarcelloni, who is come in replacement of Robert Palladino for the Canadian Builders. Marino Scarcelloni has been part of senior soccer in Sudbury here for, almost a good 10 years or more in the senior league. And he's come back to fill in for Robert Palladino. Action back underway. It's Prescott now, kicking that ball out of play.
Robbie Palladino injured his leg yesterday. I was talking to him before the game today, and he pulled a thigh muscle, and it was kind of an innocent play, but this is why he's not playing today.
Brian Ashton trying to get through there, being obstructed a bit by D'Agostino. And Joey, I guess we'll get to see what happened to Mr. Barrett there.
All right, if you can see the tackle coming in here now, there's Brian and Dave there. You'll see the leg being stuck in there, and as he sticks the leg in, it looks like there's a kick, and it looks like he went over on that right ankle as he's falling down on the right ankle, Frank. So maybe we'll get a report on that a bit later on in the game for our viewers.
Mike Massimiliano on the far side there. It's Palladino now for the Builders. Intercepted by Enzo Bedetto. Enzo still with that ball trying to get through. D'Agostino's back there. And that ball's kicked out of harm's way. So we've got another throw in here for Mike Massimiliano for the Flyers. Palladino, Massimiliano back with that ball. Prescott lets that run through. Sulich now for the Builders. Trying to get it forward to Georgie, but that ball's intercepted by Stefanuto. Prescott now passing it back. That might be close. Scarcelloni is able to get there first. Georgie, yep. Ashton gets there first. Corsi, piece of that. Palladino nicely over here to Zulich. Corsi for Italia Flyers now. Tries to get that to Ashton. Brian Ashton with the ball. See, moving towards his own end, trying to turn, but Georgie is able to push it through. And finally, Stefanuto hits it off Georgie. So with approximately 8 minutes gone, as you can see, we've got still a scoreless contest. Both teams haven't warmed up yet for all intents and purposes, but we should see a very exciting game. Tony Georgie on your screen right now, and as we said before, he was a former player of Laurentian University Voyageurs team, one of the top players that they've had, and has done extremely well here in Sudbury in terms of his play with Canadian Builders. Bruchik, Stephen Bruchik, the goalie for the Italia Flyers. Long launch well into the Canadian Builders end. Sabanin doing a good job to get there first. Ken, Bacaturo now. That comes through to Cimino against Brian Ashton. D'Agostino now trying to hold on to that ball. Massimiliano. Palladino nicely to Nicolucci. Here's a combination that Flyers have to be cautious about. Cimino now being bothered from behind by Enzo Benedetti. Still with control of that ball. Looks like it may have gone out of bounds. It has.
As we've seen in previous games, Frank, we're getting a lot of action in the midfield right now, and this is how teams kind of get into the game. They get a lot of action in the midfield, a lot of these short passes. As the game progresses, you'll see a lot more attacking and hard tackling.
Sabatin now. Stefanuto with a long one, maybe a little bit too long for Penn on the far side, and Scarzoloni will pick this one up. Another injured player, and you can see Scarzoloni throwing that ball out of play, and this time it's an Italia Flyers player. And the referee has indicated for the trainer to come out, in this case the coach. The trainer's already there, so we don't know whether it's the field or what the situation is, Joey, but got two very early injuries, and it looks to be very serious.
He's holding on to his right ankle there, or right shin. So I didn't exactly see what happened. The play it happened away from the play, but here he is getting up. That's Joey Lamberti, and again he's walking off, favoring that right ankle. This could be a tough loss for the Flyers also. So only 10 minutes into the game, and we've already had two injuries, and it looks like pretty serious injuries. So it could be a field, or it could be some of the late tackling going on out there, but pretty heartbreaking right now.
So the substitution comes in the form of Riccio, and you see that throw, that ball being thrown back to Scarzoloni. In soccer, with sort of an unwritten rule that if the other team player gets hurt, that you automatically kick the ball out and allow the referee to bring in the trainer. Ball's in the Flyers end. Brian Ashton gets there first. Danny Ashton, younger brother, trying to retrieve that ball. He's bothered there by Pressot. Ashton somehow is able to come up with that ball. Chips it forward to Riccio. Benedetti takes a shot at that, or actually Enzo Benedetti takes a shot at that. But Scarzoloni is there to easily corral that ball. Marino Scarzoloni. Huge bounce. Street goes up for it. Zulich now. Ashton, Brian Ashton. You'll see a lot of this ball moving up from his defensive position. Gave that one away a bit. It's Cimino now. Georgie trying to get to the near side, but isn't anybody there for the Canadian Builders team. So it's a harmless pass. Bruchik now consider his options before launching this ball. Ball comes to the near side. Zulich off the back of Riccio, and quite rightly, Serenek calls an infraction there against the Builders team.
A little bit of shoving going on that high ball.
Brian Ashton with the short free kick. Stefanuto, number 22, tries to get it through to Danny Ashton. He does. Danny Ashton with a lot of little cute moves, trying to chip it forward. Sabatin is there. Tony Georgie kicking it forward to D'Agostino. Foot race there, but it looks like Drigo has that well in hand.
Frank, again, especially with Joey Lamberti out, Danny Ashton's going to share quite a bit of the brunt up front there, and got to come up with a bit better effort than he did yesterday. He's a fantastic forward, and I think yesterday he was playing a bit tired because he also plays football, but he should see a better Danny Ashton today.
Nicolucci now to Zulic. Back to Sabatin. Defense moving up for the Canadian Builders. Georgie in the midfield with the Palladino. Salazan now with the ball on the far side. Drigo's there first. We'll have another throw in here for Builders. Well, looks like it's a free kick, so Brian Ashton, and I should have said the Builders, but in this case it's free kick has been awarded in favor of the Italia Flyers, so Brian Ashton will do the honors.
The referee's giving a talk there with Mario D'Agostino. I'm not sure if he's going to issue him a yellow. I imagine he is. Yeah, there's a yellow card. I'm sure Mario's a bit frustrated. Bertie Drigo has done a great job on him. He's gone everywhere Mario has. They're both very similar in style, very big boys, physical boys, and I'm sure Mario has never been marked that tightly, and a bit of frustration may be coming through there, but he's going to have to control it.
So we have another throw in here, and it's Mike Massimiliano who will take the throw in. Sabatin now knocks it off at number 10, Penn, and so we'll see a throw in there for the Builders. And that's Salinas now. Massimiliano. Corsi now at the ball, chips it on the near side. Danny Ashton. A few balls coming to Danny. Danny Ashton being challenged from behind there. Gives that one away, unfortunately, to Nicolucci. Nicolucci on the inside to Georgie. Georgie punching it through. Bit of a foot race there, but Corsi prevails. Unfortunately, we've got another player down. Renato Nicolucci looks like he can shake that one off.
I think what happened there to Renato is when he sprinted, he got a bit of a cramp on his leg there. That could be from, it was a pretty physical, tough game yesterday, and some of these players still have not maybe recovered fully, so they're pretty prone to injury right now because they're still tired maybe from yesterday's game. So.
As we've indicated, this is a championship game for the Premier Division of the Senior Men's Soccer League. The winner takes it all, and the loser can brag about being in second place. But generally, that's not a well remembered item. So it comes down to either win or you lose. Both teams are well matched, as we saw in the first game, with a 1-1 draw. We anticipate that this game will be just as close. Bacaturo now, and that ball gets launched out one more time.
Yeah, the trophy these teams are playing for, Frank, is called the Bristol Machine Works Trophy. That's awarded to the playoff champion, and both teams would love to win it, and that sure cap off a good season for them.
So we'll see a throw-in over here for Mike Massimiliano, defender for the Italia Flyers. Gets that ball right back. Bacaturo's up there. Nicolucci now. Renato Nicolucci looks like his leg's okay, and he kicks that out of bounds. And I think Renato is still feeling the pain from that last play.
That's right. He was just testing the leg there, and he realizes that no, he can't continue on. He's going to come off and stretch it out. And it looks like he's going to be replaced by Donnie Prest, number 14. Donnie Prest is a player that Canadian Builders didn't have in the lineup yesterday. Unfortunately, he was working, but he's usually a defender, but he's going to do some work in the midfield now, I think.
So we've got three key players having left this contest here. David Barrett, followed by Joe Lamberti for the Italia Flyers, and now Renato Nicolucci, and this could change the face of this contest. Riccio against Prest. Prest, we should mention, is a hard-nosed player. Likes to make contact with players, let them know that he's there, and does a very good job in defending. Playing the midfield right now. Brian Ashton with that ball. Brian, a leader for this Italia Flyer team, is going to have to play big today. Georgie against Corsi. Corsi prevails. Richard Corsi now trying to get through in a crowd. Pressed intercepts as Georgie coming through. Tony Georgie with a lot of talent. unfortunately slips, and Drigo is there to kick it away. Riccio trying to get it through to Penn. Eric Penn on the far side for the Flyers. Trying to put it through. Looks like he'll kick it through, and it looks like Danny Ashton has a crack at this. Danny Ashton, who's got a lot of talent in terms of nice pass to Riccio. This is a shot on goal. Hesitated, didn't take the shot, and made the beautiful pass to Riccio, who was in the clear. Excellent effort by Ashton and Riccio.
Good fast attacking by the Flyers. They utilize their speed. They get the ball to the wing, bring the ball back into the middle. Danny Ashton made one beautiful move, saw his player on the right side free, and just laid it off to him. We're going to see this on the replay, Frank, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's Danny, draws a crowd, lays it off to the fellow on the right wing, takes his time and puts it underneath the sprawling goaltender. Good fast attacking by the Flyers, and they've got to do a lot of this if they want to stay in front of this Canadian Builders team.
Now, this may sound like deja vu, but at about the 17th minute mark of the last contest, Flyers went ahead 1-0, and they virtually did the same thing right now. We'll see how this contest develops. In any event, Flyers are up 1-0, and the Canadian Builders back to the wall, but as we said in the last game, you don't count them out. They're not out by a long stretch. Sabatin now with the ball, number 21. Chips it forward, intercepted by Riccio. Steven Riccio, goal scorer there for the Flyers. Dowling now in the field for the Builders, back to press. Bit of an obstruction there, and so the Builders will enjoy a free kick.
What the Flyers have to do now, Frank, is keep playing their game and not get stuck into playing what the Builders like to play, and that is a nice, quiet, positional game with a lot of time, because we saw that happen yesterday, and the Builders love to play that style of soccer, and if you allow them to do that, they're gonna beat you.
Dowling with the ball now, trying to negotiate the turn, gets it to Zulich. Zulich back to Cimino for the Builders. Cimino puts a through ball in there, but Brian Ashton is there. Turns to the top of the 18. He won't take any chances. Gets it to brother Danny Ashton. Danny Ashton with a lot of talent there, and very good with 50-50 balls. What we mean by 50-50 balls, for those who don't know soccer, is essentially a one-on-one situation. Riccio to Ashton. Ashton with a cross, trying to reach Penn. Cimino gets up on this. Penn still there with Scarsoloni, and Marino Scarsoloni does the right thing to get up there with his hands. 1-0 in favor of the Italia Flyers. First half action, 20 minutes have expired. Should be an interesting contest. Massimiliano again looking for Ashton. Looks like Ashton may be the favored man on this team for the Flyers. Tony Giorgi against Ashton, Brian this time, and Brian Ashton does a very good job of defending. As we said yesterday, Brian is the kind of player that could probably play every position in the field, maybe even goalie, Joey. Do it extremely well. Brian Ashton on your screen there, number 12.
So this is, now we have Sean Dowling in the game, Frank, and I guess we missed that player change, but we have a good game for Canadian Builders who's just come into the game, Sean Dowling, and he's going to be playing forward. And they've moved Cody Cimino back on right fullback.
So we have a throw in here for the Builders. Number 5, Salins. Chris Salins will take this throw in. And he looks like he may be going back to the goalkeeper here, and he is to Scarsoloni. Marino Scarsoloni, excellent goalkeeper here in the senior men's soccer division. Long ball, Pino gets a piece of it. D'Agostino to Zulich. Zulich on the inside to Palladino. Robert Palladino, nice ball to Dowling. Stefanuto's there to intercept, and now it's Giorgi. Tony Giorgi with the ball here. Palladino, Drigo finally prevails. Cimino. Woody Cimino with that ball. A little bit of space here. His fence has moved right up, trying the offside trap. Congregation of players in the center midfield area here. Sabatin now, nice give and go with Palladino. Near side, but it's offside.
Yeah, good offside trap played there by Brian Ashton. Saw he was the last man back. The forward running through. Brian just moved up a couple of steps, caught him offside. Tackling in the midfield by the Flyers has really improved up to this point, Frank, from yesterday. They're really a lot tougher in the middle.
Brian Ashton now, long pass well into the top of the box. This is dangerous. Danny Ashton now with that ball on the outside. Watch the fancy footwork here as he tries to get that ball through. A good job by Salenson to kick that ball out of play. And we will see a corner kick here for the Flyers. Flyers trying to maintain the pressure on this very experienced Builders team. Short corner kick. Nice shot to Corsi, and unfortunately Corsi just leaned backwards and launched that way up in the air.
Yeah, it's a good play by the Flyers, a short corner kick. We said yesterday over and over again that the height advantage for them is not there, so the short corner kick trying to catch the Canadian Builder defense leap-in is a good strategy.
Marino Scarsoloni with the ball now off of a throw-in, and he will put this ball into play. Trigo up for it for the Flyers. Again to Ashton's side. Salenson now press. John press now against Riccio, and Riccio gets his foot on that ball.
There's that tackling I was talking about. The Flyers are definitely improved on that so far.
Come on! Who's here?
Chris Salins, and Chris has a long throw, and this is the equivalent of a free kick. You see well into the box. Nice chip back. D'Agostino takes crack at this. Rinaldi does a good job of getting his foot on that ball. Number 14, who's now retrieving that ball, does extremely well to get his foot on that ball. Otherwise, Mario D'Agostino could have had a free shot at net.
All right, the linesman's made a call here. It looks like it was either offside or the ball had gone out, and he's awarding a goal kick. No, it's a free kick, so it must have been an offside call on the Canadian Builder.
So, Steven Brujic handled this free kick. Long, low one, well into the, I should say, Builder's end, but it's out of play.
Frank, I don't know if you noticed or not, but on that last play there, the goaltender for the Flyers made a real effort to stop it from going out, thinking it was a corner kick. And obviously they've been told not to allow too many corner kicks, because as we saw yesterday, most of the scoring chances for the Canadian Builders came off of corner kicks or long throws.
Trigo against D'Agostino, good matchup there. Ashton now being hounded by Dowling. Ashton just gets rid of that ball. It's Riccio getting it over here to Danny Ashton. Pass there, but unfortunately there isn't anybody in the far near side. Press now, looking to turn against Riccio. Claudio Riccio now on the inside. Vacaturo not taking any chances. Richard Corsi now at the ball for the Flyers. Flyers, as you say, Joey, doing a better job in the midfield, winning some of those battles out there. Richard Corsi getting a piece of that ball again. Ball coming through. Flyers have to be extremely careful with that trap. Long ball coming to Danny Ashton. Palladino is able to corral it. Palladino to Vacaturo. Zulich. And we've got an infraction here called against the Flyers team.
Yeah, Massimiliano a little over anxious, a little shove from behind. Referee calls that. It's a good call by Peter Severnick there.
Sabatin now to the inside to Vacaturo. Chips it forward here. D'Agostino watched by Trigo. And Brujic finally comes in to pick up that ball. You can see Mike D'Agostino being very aggressive. Should say Mario D'Agostino being very aggressive. Zulich back to D'Agostino. Back to Palladino now. The inside to Zulich. Trying to get a through ball there to Georgie. And we've got ourselves another offside call against the Canadian Builders. Flyers having really...
Flyers are using that offside trap really well today, Frank. They tried it a couple of times yesterday. It seems that they've talked about it. They're using it a lot more effective today. Also, what that does is it gets the forwards from the opposite team kind of thinking, and it gives them hesitation so that they don't go offside, and it can add a big plus to your defensive game.
Zulich trying to get that ball through, but Rinaldi is there on the spot. You're right, Joey. They were getting burnt a bit. The Canadian Builders sent up 4 strikers, and all of the defensive crew for the Flyers were playing back, and so were the midfielders. And as you say, they were not coming out fast enough, and that was making them victims of the long ball. Today, they've changed their strategy, and they're clearly moving up quick and trying to take advantage of the offside trap.
Well, it is a great asset, but it does have to be played perfectly. Otherwise, you get burnt on it.
Woody Cimino now with the ball. Throw in to Giorgi. Tony Giorgi now with that ball, being bothered there by Enzo Bedetto. Tries to cross it in front. Reasonably successful. D'Agostino. Dorigo's on his back. Cimino now gets to Sabatin. Brian Ashton there with the goalie. And Steven Brujic will pick that up quite easily. 1-0 lead here in favor of the Italia Flyers. Brujic launches that ball. Prest gets there first, gets it to Zulic. Zulic still with that ball. Massimiliano now retrieves it. Nice pass to the inside for Rinaldi. Robert Rinaldi for the Flyers. Looking for Massimiliano on the far side. He gets it there. Mike Massimiliano switching the play nicely over here to Riccio and to Ashton. Riccio will get this ball. Crosses it over, but Prest is there. Corsi now will take a shot at this, and it comes off Giorgi. So we've got ourselves a throw-in here.
Yeah, number 14 for the Flyers out there, Frank, is Chiquetto. We were making that same mistake yesterday.
So we've got to make sure we say Angelo Chiquetto as opposed to Rinaldi.
Well, they look very similar, and when you don't see the back in their numbers, it's pretty hard to...
So we apologize to the Rinaldi fan. I'm sorry, the Chiquetto family there. We get this right. Angelo Chiquetto on the far side there for the Flyers. That's Marino Scarcelloni. There's no doubt about that. And Marino will survey the situation and crank that ball into the Flyers' end. Off of Palladino. Palladino gets the rebound back. Takaturo now. He's bothered there by Riccio, and finally kicks it back to the goalie, Scarcelloni. Chips it on the near side to Salins over here with a bit of time and space. Chris Salins with the ball for the Builders. Pushing it on the inside to Palladino. Palladino chipping it through nicely to Giorgi, but Corsi's there. Good job by Richard Corsi to get back and follow. Corsi to get back and follow Giorgi into the play. Palladino now with the ball, still being bothered by Corsi, and finally it's Massimiliano for the Flyers gets that ball. Good effort by Richard Corsi to follow players right back in his own end. Scarcelloni takes a swipe at this one. Ronaldo Chiquetto has got the win up for that ball, and Danny Ashton on the other side now. Danny Ashton prevails. A lot of ball control, still moving forward with that ball laterally. Nice pass to Riccio on the near side, Stephen Riccio. Back to Ashton, good give and go situation there. Ooh, bit of a hard tackle there by Salins. And we will see a free kick there, I believe, Joey.
Well, it's good to see. Danny Ashton seems to be really into the game today, and also Corsi, who had to elevate his play from yesterday, is right into it. So that's a good plus for the Flyers. And Danny's going to get a lot of attention from the Canadian Builder defense because he's a very talented player and can cause a lot of havoc up front.
Enzo Bedetto with the free kick here for the Flyers. See if they can get a second goal here across the face. Corsi now will take a swipe at this, gets it back to Riccio. This is not offside, and another goal. There's an opportunity there, and Sabatin has to kick it out. Near opportunity for the Flyers there. Looks like there was some indecision there by the Canadian Builders who were saying it was offside, but it's an old rule in soccer. You don't stop until a referee blows the whistle.
That's exactly right, Frank, and I don't know why the Builders are complaining because both the referee and the linesperson were in good position to make that call. They moved out, but they moved out maybe after the ball was played forward. The timing is critical. Looks like one of the players is going to be getting a yellow on this because I see Peter Serenik had the book out and the yellow card was shown.
Enzo Bedetto again will take the corner kick. Far post. Giorgi's up there. Ashton takes a crack at it. And Chiquetto with a shot. Angelo Chiquetto, just as we got his name right, almost scored with a left footer there. Excellent effort by the Flyers.
Frank, that's exactly what happens in a game. You start worrying about the refereeing and the linesmen and the officials, and you forget about your game, and the Canadian Builders better just concentrate on playing the game on the field and forgetting about the officials. Just play their game because they're going to get burnt for another goal. And here we have a substitution coming in. We got Riccio coming off and Lamberti coming on. Lamberti was injured earlier, but it seems like that right leg seems to be all right.
High ball dialing up there against Massimiliano on the far side. It's Zulich now being challenged there by Ashton. Gets the ball back, tries to get it to Georgie. He does. Georgie will take a shot at this. That ball's low and easily handled by Brujic.
Well, it was a little tougher than it looked because the field's pretty rough and the ball's probably pretty slick, and good save by the young goalkeeper.
Brujic now gets it to Chiquetto on the far side. Woody Cimino, as you can see there, right on his back, and that results in an infraction in favor of the Italia Flyers.
Frank, for all the young goalkeepers watching, I just want to make a comment on that save. Stephen Brujic got both hands behind the ball and also his body, which is a good technical goalkeeping. Get as much of the body and your hands behind the ball as possible.
Brian Ashton for the Flyers, still attacking. Massimiliano will have a shot at this against Sabaden, and Sabaden protects that ball, allows it to go out. And we'll see a goal kick here for the Flyers. 33 minutes have expired in the first half, with the Flyers still enjoying a 1-0 lead. At the foot of number 11, Steven Riccio for the Italia Flyers. Sabaden now cranking that ball up. They've gone a little bit too far and out of bounds. And we will see a throw in here for the Flyers team. Italia Flyers. Chiquetto now with the ball through to Corsi. Richard Corsi trying to reach somebody on this side. Salzman kicks that ball out. And you can see and hear that some of the spectators weren't happy with that play.
Well, there's got to be communication on the field. I think Corsi didn't realize he had more time than he did, and he just got rid of the ball a bit too soon.
Chiquetto now with a nice move. Angelo Chiquetto with that ball moving towards the inside, trying to get it through to Riccio. D'Agostino now cranking that ball up, but as you can see, there are no strikers up there for the Builders. Builders look like they've recoiled into a bit of a defensive mode right now. It's Riccio now against Salazan. Riccio, and Salazan is there to prevail. Corsi gets that ball, and finally it's pressed. He knocks it out of play. Italia Flyers putting a considerable amount of pressure on this Canadian Builders team.
Yeah, Canadian Builders still complaining about the offside calls that they're not getting, and as I said before, they better forget about that and just worry about what's going on in the field.
Enzo Beretta back to Stefanuto. And we've got another infraction here called against the Builders. So we'll see another free kick here. Another free kick here in favor of the Italia Flyers. Brian Ashton moving up. Short one to Richard Corsi. Corsi will cross this ball far side. Nice one. Lombardi will take a shot at this. Another opportunity for Lombardi. This will come across the face, and it's low and right to Scarcelloni.
It was a good play by the Flyers on that, and Canadian Builders didn't pick it up, but young Massimiliano moved up from his left defense position and was in a great scoring chance. Unfortunately, I don't think there was communication between him and his other player, but that's twice that he's moved up, and Canadian Builders haven't picked him up.
Enzo Beretta, nice pass to Danny Ashton. Danny Ashton with a lot of moves. Unfortunately, doesn't get good wood on that ball, so to speak, and ends up giving it away to Marino Scarcelloni. Danny Ashton there is an excellent player on a one-on-one situation. He is dangerous. Enzo Beretta now. Pino Vacaturo gets a piece of that press off the back of Riccio. Brian Ashton now with this ball. He's bothered there by D'Agostino. Referee says play on. Mario D'Agostino. He's bothered there by Brian Ashton. And finally, we've got a call here against the Canadian Builders. I'm sorry, against the Flyers. And the Builders will enjoy a free kick.
This is always dangerous, just free kicks for these Builders again, because of the height advantage.
Flyers were very vulnerable last game, losing almost all of the high balls in the box. We'll see what happens here. Zulich with a shot. Opportunity for Zulich for the Flyers, but unfortunately that's a little on the high side. So 36 minutes have expired in this game, and the Flyers enjoy a 1-0 lead.
Good shot there by Robert Zulich. He had to turn on it, but it was his run that made the play. Originally, he ran in, got the ball on his chest, gets it down. We're going to see it now here, Frank, on the replay. Here comes the free kick. Good cross into the middle. Comes to Zulich. Zulich turns, cranks just a bit high, but not too much time and lots of traffic there. Just did well just to get the shot away.
Just had a player change. Angelo Chiquetto came off with an injury, and in his stead is Rinaldi, number 3. Robert Rinaldi, and if we get a chance to see him on the screen, you'll see why we confused him with Mr. Chiquetto. I think they look like Bobbsey twins a bit, partly because of the hairdo. In any event, both players are excellent players for the Italia Flyers.
And I didn't see the injury, but it looks like Dem Chiquetto is holding on to his leg also, so it could be a pull or a bruise on the thigh.
Got ourselves another yellow card here. And it looks like it may be to, let's take a look at this. It looks like it's going to one of the Builders players, Joey.
I'm not exactly sure who's getting the yellow, but I know there's been a lot of dissension towards the referee, and it's all on this offside stuff. And you know, there's 3 officials calling the game. We don't need 4 or 5 calling it. So like I said before, players gotta play soccer and just forget about the officiating. Just play.
Ryan Ashton with a shot there, but as you saw, it was well above the net. So we will see a goal kick here. As we mentioned in the last game, there are some significant differences between these two teams, and one of them is the age difference. The Italia Flyers literally hovering around the 19-20 age mark, and the Canadian Builders well into the early 30s. Got almost a decade of experience in terms of the gap between these two teams. And it's virtually the youngest team in the Premier Division up against the oldest team, but when we say oldest, we don't mean that in a negative sense, because the Builders have a lot of experience, a lot of poise, and as we said, they're clearly not out of this game.
That's right, Frank. You and I are old. These guys are experienced.
Georgie now, Tony Georgie. Horsey, Georgie gets the ball back. It's Danny Palladino now. Palladino will take a shot at this, but a little on a weak side coming off his left foot.
Yeah, Palladino is so used to playing with Renato Nicolucci that right now, for the last 10 minutes or so, he seems a bit lost out there. He's Walter Bicaludi, the coach for the Canadian Builders, had to make a few changes, and it's upset the team a bit. At halftime, I'm sure they're going to talk about it and make all the corrections that they have to, and they're going to be a little bit stronger, I would say, in the second half.
So as we get ready for a goal kick here by the Italia Flyer team, Steven Bruchik now the goalkeeper, launches this well into the Builders' end. Vacaturo's up for that one. Georgie back to Palladino, back to Georgie. Georgie on the inside, Dowling. Back to Georgie, playing in some very tight quarters there. Georgie on the outside, to Dowling, lets it come through to press. Palladino now again with the ball, chips it forward, but Ashton's there. Long ball, Ashton. Woody Cimino is up there first. Vacaturo to Palladino. The name you'll hear a lot in this game. Danny Palladino playing the midfield, and as we know, the Builders like to play the midfield. And we'll see another infraction there, this time called against the Italia Flyers. I'm sorry, against the Builders.
A little bit of a hip check there by Sean Dowling. Just lost sight of the ball and stuck the hip out. Kresho or Peter Severenic right on the ball there.
Lombardi now against Rinaldi. Rinaldi gets the heel on that ball, but it's out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in here. And see Cimino throwing that ball to the goalkeeper, Marino Scarcelloni. Long ball well into the Flyers' end. This is going to bounce. Ashton's there first. Heads it nicely to the center of the field. Georgie now for the Builders. Georgie with that ball, top of the box. Got a couple of options here on the near side. Tries to get through against Ashton. Brian Ashton with still a ball and comes off a press. Brian Ashton tries one more time. See a few people yelling at the referee there, but Mr. Severnick decides to play on. A couple of players going up for that ball. Ashton finally gets a piece of it. Mario D'Agostino with a head ball there, and Bruchik is able to corral that ball in the bounce. High ball in the center field area. Pino Vacaturo is up first. Press tries to heel it back. Dowling. And we've got ourselves an offside situation there called by the referee.
Frank, while we got a bit of time, we got to remind our viewers watching live about the trivia coming up in a few minutes. It should be coming up in about 3 or 4 minutes. All you viewers watching live, be ready for the trivia questions, and we'll have the phone number for you on the screen at halftime.
So we'll have a goal kick here. Actually, it's a free kick as a result of an offside situation called against the Builders. Italia Flyers enjoying a 1-0 lead. Pino Vacaturo is there first, chipping it forward to D'Agostino. Mario D'Agostino through to Zulich. Zulich trying to negotiate the turn, gets it to the inside, but Drigo's there. It's resulted in another throw-in here for the Builders team.
You can be sure that the Flyers know how much time is left. I'm sure they're well aware that they're going to go into the half with probably a 1-goal lead if they can just defend for another few minutes, and that's what they're playing for.
Zulich now. Georgie intercepted there by Massimiliano, and we'll see another throw in here for the Builders. This one will get close to the net. No, it's short to Georgie. Georgie's trying to turn with this ball to see if he can get it from the net. He does. He gets to the inside, but a good job there by Corsi to get a foot on that ball. It's Rinaldi now doing battle with Zulich. A nice through ball to Lamberti, and you can see Pino Vacaturo taking no prisoners, just cranking that ball out of harm's way.
It's a good play by Pino Vacaturo because his sweeper, number 21, Robin, had moved up, and Pino wasn't going to take any chances. You don't want to go down 2-0.
So game has slowed up a bit as a result of a goal kick here, but we've had some excellent action in this first half of this championship game. And we should see even more action, exciting action in the next half as well. Pino Vacaturo with the ball with a couple of minutes left in this game, in this first half, I should say. Stefanuto doing a good job hammering that ball up to Ashton. Ashton with a foot race against Allen. Ashton with a lot of talent, trying to turn to the inside, gets to the outside now across the face, coming off a Sabat in here. Enzo Badetto will take a shot at this. A good effort by Danny Ashton. Riccio now back to Stefanuto, who's done a good job over here to Corsi. Corsi getting knocked off the ball there a bit by Georgie. Slight difference in body weight there, and in any event, we're going to have a throw in here for the Italia Flyers.
Gets pretty tough in that midfield on an important game, and like I said before, the midfield is where you win the game. The toughness and the running and all comes into effect, and that midfield's got to do the job.
Prest is up for that ball. Ashton now. Stefanuto heels it out of play, and we will see a throw in here for the Flyers. Referee indicating that it came off the Builder player, so we will get a throw in here for Peter Sevenek, who's doing the honors today in terms of refereeing this championship game. Excellent referee in this league. Stefanuto now. Press. Corsi getting a piece of that ball. Rinaldi in chase against Zulich there. Massimiliano playing the corner defensive position. Nice to Corsi. Richard Corsi with the speed in the center, puts it through to Ashton. That's a beautiful ball. Danny Ashton moving forward with some space. Got players in front of the net, moving towards the net. Oh, a beautiful save by Scarcelloni to protect that near post.
That's a great play by both players. Scarcelloni made an excellent save on that. He just waited out Danny Ashton. Danny had a couple of players in front. Scarcelloni waited for him to make his move, saw he wasn't going to pass it out, and made a great save on that short side. Hopefully we'll get this on a replay, Frank, to see what I'm talking about.
All of this translates into a corner kick, and you can see Stefan Riccio there will take this far post. A couple players going up. Lamberti will take a shot at this. He does, off one of the Builders players, and it looks like Cimino is there to get the ball. Zulich now for the Builders. In the inside, Corsi doing battle there with the Georgie. Still with him there a bit. Georgie prevails though, gets it to D'Agostino. D'Agostino now at the ball, moving it to Palladino. On the inside, a couple of players going down in the middle of the field. You can see they're tangled up a bit there. Brian Ashton and Danny Palladino.
All right, Frank, we're going to get a replay of this break here. Here's Danny Ashton looking in the middle. He's got two players in the middle, then decides to try the short side. Marino, beautiful save on that short side. Just outweighted and outguessed Danny. Good play.
Now, we should say that some people would have said he should have put that ball across the face of the goal, but I think Danny did the right thing. Scarcelloni knew there was players in front of the net, and I think Danny tried to take advantage of that by putting it near side, but it just didn't materialize. Sabatin now at the free kick. He takes a shot. Low enough, but too wide. Chris Sabatin, who's done a good job for the Builders, trying to capitalize on that free kick, but unfortunately he's got the height but doesn't have the proper aim in terms of going wide of that net.
He tried to put a bit of outside juice on it, and I think he just put a little bit too much on, went wide, but nonetheless, good try. Halftime should be just about over. They're into injury time now, and good hard shot on net could get you a goal.
Referee looking at his watch, so I suspect we're only seconds away. There it is. At the end of 45 minutes of play, it's the Italia Flyers up 1 against Canadian Builders in this championship match. This is Frank Malvasso along with Joey Preston. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
For all the viewers watching live, the question today is, how many teams are there in the Sudbury Men's Senior Premier Division? And if you have the answer to this question, please call the number on your screen, 560-1505. The question again, how many teams are there in the Sudbury Men's Soccer League Premier Division? Congratulations to the winner, a Zach DeVouge of Sudbury, and wins a gift certificate from Regency Bakery and Deli. So congratulations again to Zach DeVouge.
Welcome back to Queens Athletic Field. We're here with live action in a championship game between the Canadian Builders in an all-white uniform and the Italia Flyers in the blue and white. This is Frank Malvasso along with Joey Presta. Joey, we saw an interesting 45 minutes in that first half.
That's right, Frank. We had a couple of injuries in the first few minutes. We had Dave Barrett for the Canadian Builders go down, and then a little bit later we had Renato Nicolucci. They were unable to make the adjustments on the field. At about the 18-minute mark, Danny Ashton laid off a beautiful pass to a Stephen Riccio on the right side and tucked it in for a goal. It was 1-0 for the Flyers, and that's how it starts here in the second half.
Long ball well into the Canadian Builders' end. That's Richard Corsi now with that ball moving through to Danny Ashton. Nice through ball to Danny Ashton. He'll chip it in front, and that comes off one of the Builders players. 45 minutes left in this contest for the Builders to get back in and try to make this a contest here. Salazin gets it to D'Agostino. Zulich now puts it through, but that's a little on the far side, and Brian Ashton will go in to retrieve that ball against Press. And let's see here. We've got a throw in here, and it goes back to Brujic. Stephen Brujic, the goalkeeper for the Builders, launches this ball well into the Builders' end. Dino Vacaturo now will kick it back in. Rinaldi back to Massimiliano. Massimiliano off of Corsi, Palladino on the inside to Giorgi. Tony Giorgi with that ball now. Massimiliano, Corsi back to the outside to Rinaldi. Nice ball to Lombardi. Lombardi turns with that ball. Joe Lombardi on the outside is Palladino there. A nice slide tackle by Danny Palladino. Still with that ball inside to Pressot. Gives that one away to Joe Rinaldi. And you see a bit of a clip there, and the referee has called a free kick here in favor of the Italia Flyers. Brian Ashton moving up to do the honors. Number 12 with his back towards you there, key player. Clearly a team leader here for the Italia Flyers. Ball to his brother Danny Ashton, but unfortunately Danny can't control that ball, so...
A little bit of a push there by Danny on the defender, and Peter Severanek calls this. We should maybe clarify, we keep calling Peter or Kresho, and maybe for the viewers watching at home, they might think we're a bit confused, Frank, but actually Peter is of Croatian descent, and his Croatian name is Kresho, but we know him here in Canada as Peter, so just a little bit of clarification on that. I'm sure our viewers are wondering what's going on out there.
Vacaturo now. Of course, he gets Pijesevic. Rigo for the Flyers. Zulic now punches it back in. Giorgi, nice ball to D'Agostino. He'll take a shot at this. Can't get on top of that ball. Brian Ashton against D'Agostino. Ball still loose. Press now for the Canadian Builders. Builders will try to put as much pressure as they can. D'Agostino gets a head on it. It's a score! Beautiful shot by Tony Giorgi in front. And there you go. We're back to a 1-1 contest here. Didn't take very long for the Canadian Builders. Beautiful shot there by Tony Giorgi in flight off the head of Mario D'Agostino. And this game is all tied up at 1-1.
That's right, Frank. A bit of confusion there on the Flyers defense. Nice head flick on by Mario D'Agostino. And Tony Giorgi, beautiful shot, top left-hand corner there. Goalie had no chance on that, and Flyers are going to have to rebound from this early goal, but a lot of soccer left here yet today.
That took place at approximately the 47th minute mark, so we've got a good 43 minutes left in this contest. We've got a 1-1 game. It may be too early to talk about overtime, but based on the last game, which ended 1-1, we may very well see an overtime situation here. And we should note that we are, as a live broadcast, we will continue on until the final conclusion of this game, including overtime, if that's in fact what we need. So we invite you to stay tuned. Sabanin now with a free kick. All of these long balls going into the 18-yard box in the Flyers' end are dangerous for the Flyers. There's a long ball. Massimiliano up there first. Zulic trying to hit it back. Giorgi there. Another shot by Tony Giorgi. And unfortunately, he can't turn that ball. Corner kick here for the Canadian Builders.
Good smart play by Rob Sabatin there. Usually the man they're looking for is Mario D'Agostino, but Mario D'Agostino, as I said before, has got Lamberti on him, and Robert Zulic is also great with the high head ball, so Rob Sabatin there looking for him this time.
Press coming in on that corner kick, and as we saw in the last game, the Flyers had problems with those set plays, especially those corner kicks. And situation they don't want to get into. The best way to avoid corner kicks is to get it out of your zone and try to apply pressure to the other team.
Looks like we have another injury on the field. This is young Rinaldi down, and here comes Angelo Cicchetto to replace him. And we also should mention that the Flyers did have a couple injuries in the first half. It's nice to see Joey Lamberti back on the field, though. I guess he shook off that leg injury.
So Cicchetto comes in for Rinaldi. Angelo Cicchetto, number 14, moving into his position. Corsi coming off of Cicchetto. Lamberti being bumped a bit there, and quite rightly, Kresho Severnik calls a free kick for the Italia Flyers. Brian Ashton. Quick free kick to Massimiliano. Massimiliano to like Chiquetto. Tony Georgie flick out to the near side here. Press, heading it back towards Pressot. Brian Ashton's there first. Bit of a foot race, as you can see. Brian Ashton with the inside track. He'll back himself into the corner a bit there and try to rebound it off the player. Ooh, that comes dangerously in front of the net. Drigo kicks that ball out of harm's way. Ashton off his back. Vacaturo now, Pino Vacaturo with the ball back into the Flyers' end, and Brian Ashton is there one more time. Brian Ashton launches that ball. Looks like it is out of play, and it is. So we will have another throw in here for the Builders.
Frank, a bit of a report on the injuries. We've learned that Dave Barrett has gone to hospital. Apparently he popped his hip on his injury and will not see any more action. Also, Renato Nicolucci, he's on the bench and pulled a hamstring and could see action maybe a little bit later on. As we talk about those injuries, we see another injury on the field.
Another yellow card, I believe, Joey. This looks like it may have gone to Tony Georgie. It's number 11, Stephen Lujic, and looks like we may have a red card here.
Well, I'm sure that yellow was his second, and this is why he's getting the red, because I think Kresho showed the red first, and then showed the yellow first, and then showed the red, so that obviously is that's his second yellow. It's a bit unfortunate, but again, I know it's a championship game. There was no real need to challenge up there. I mean, they're in the offensive zone. If you make a foul in the offensive zone, it's really unnecessary, and you need discipline. It's an important game, but you have to have discipline. Any team to be successful has to have discipline.
Number 15 is Tony Georgie, and what you'll see is Tony will be headed towards the dressing room. In soccer, a red card means ejection from the game, and the team that receives that red card needs to play short-handed for the balance of the game. So, as you say, Joey, this is an important loss to the Canadian Builders. In fact, it was Tony Georgie who got that goal and you get them back in the game. And so now they're faced with having to play the balance of the game with a player short. Chiquetto now with that ball to the inside of Corsi. Chiquetto with a nice through ball to Rinaldi here. Joey Rinaldi, and he'll turn that ball to the inside. We'll take a crack at this. A chip, but it's a little bit on the high side. Joey Lamberti, known for his left foot, uses his right foot and tries to chip it up and over the head of Scarsoloni, but gets a little on the high side.
What we see a lot of times, Frank, is that when you're down to 10 players, the team kind of pulls together a bit, and they play with the emotion of 11, and I'm sure you'll see the Canadian Builders kind of put that to the side, and this is what they're going to have to do if they want to continue playing with this game. And I mean, they're not out of the, they're not down yet. It's a 1-1 game. It's a tie series. They haven't lost a game yet, so just continue playing the best you can, and hopefully things will turn out fine.
Sabatin now with a long launch well into the Flyers' end, and Joe Lombardi against Pressot. Chiquetto now retrieving that ball, and it's Massimiliano who will take the throw in here for the Flyers. Massimiliano with a long one there to Ashton, intercepted nicely by Danny Palladino, moving up. He's bothered there by Ashton, and Danny Palladino will get a free kick out of that.
Good call by Peter there. It's a tackle from behind. It wasn't really bad, but it still is from behind. And I said it before, tackles from behind are called.
Shabbat in there. Zulich gets his head on that ball and just wide of the far post. So the Canadian Builders, despite being down by one player, as we suggest, they are not going to back off. They're going to continue to try to apply pressure.
This is where their experience is going to pay off, Frank, in situations like this.
Massimiliano now moving up to the inside to Chiquetto. That ball is lost. It's D'Agostino, Mario D'Agostino through to Pressot. A couple of players there, including Richard Corsi. Richard Corsi taking it to the outside, brings it back in, but D'Agostino's there for the Builders. And now Chiquetto, he'll take a shot at this. Brian Ashton finally corrals that ball, and Pressot gets a piece of that one. Chiquetto now will try to slow things up a bit for the Flyers. Enzo Benedetti The far side of Danny Ashton. This is a good matchup. Danny Ashton, Salzin with a good job to get his foot on that ball. Number 5, Salzin for the Canadian Builders does a good job to take the edge off of Danny Ashton.
Yeah, good defensive play there by Salison there, because Danny Ashton had maybe half a stride on him, and he recovered well. And you don't want to give a player like Danny Ashton too many chances, so good defensive play by Salison.
Corner kick here for the Flyers. Enzo Benedetti will take this corner kick. We'll see if the Italia Flyers can reciprocate here on these set plays. A few of the players moving in now. Long launch to the center of the box. Chiquetto gets up there, takes another shot at it. Palladino, a bit of a high foot, says Precious Severnak, the referee, and so we will see a free kick here for the Canadian Builders team.
Well, Danny's going to shake that off. I'd hate to see the Canadian Builders lose another midfielder. It's bad enough they're playing without Ronaldo Nicolucci, but you take away that other tandem duel out there, and they'd be in real trouble, but he's shaking it off.
Press now gets it back. Ashton gets ahead on that ball. Massimiliano pressed again to D'Agostino. Got an offside call here. Denise Garapi, the lines person for the near lines here, is called an offside, and it was off. Massimiliano, through ball in there. Danny Palladino doing battle against Enzo Benedetti. Enzo prevails there, moving forward with a little bit of space he has on the inside. Ashton, Palladino's there one more time, and he cranks that ball. Ooh, a couple of players bumping at each other in the center of the field. And this is not to be I guess, a surprise to anybody. This is a championship game. Everything is on the line. Both teams doing their best to try to win this contest. So emotions are high, to say the least.
1-1 game, championship game. You're going to see a lot of this going on here. No one wants to give an inch.
Sabanin now up. Got a bit of obstruction there against Massimiliano, so Canadian Builders will reap the benefit of a well-positioned free kick about 10 yards off the 18-yard line, and that's a good distance.
Referee signaled an indirect free kick. Ball's kicked right into the wall.
Chiquetto now. Chiquetto against Cimino. We got a bit of a late tackle there from Woody Cimino, and the referee has indicated a free kick. Angelo Chiquetto on the ground there. Looks like he may be favoring his right leg. You can see the referee, Crescio, stopping his watch. But Chiquetto may have recovered.
Like what Peter is doing here is he's going to have a chat with the captains, because the game is getting a bit carried away. There was no need for that tackle. Again, Frank, it's in the offensive zone. The Flyer player is about 120 yards away from your net. No need for a challenge like that. And I'm sure we're going to see this on the replay, and you're going to see that there was no attempt made for the ball. Cimino is actually lucky not to get a card on this, and there's no need for that. So Crescio had a talk with the two captains and told them to settle it down. Otherwise, there's going to be some more red cards issued. So I'm sure Crescio's going to take a hard line on this from here on in.
Ashton gets that one up to Riccio, the goal scorer for the Italia Flyers. Steven Riccio on the far side, number 11. Passes smartly to Corsi. Corsi on the inside, Lombardi. He loses that to Pressat, and that comes all the way back. You can see Brian Ashton way back now for the Italia Flyers. Brujic with his ball. 1-1 game, as you can see. Italia Flyers in white and blue, and Canadian Builders in all white outfit in this game. Pressat to Palladino. Palladino to Cimino, back to Palladino. Nice give and go. D'Agostino, there he is with the ball. He'll put it back to Palladino. Robert Palladino now with that ball, still maintaining control. Builders playing with a man short, and a little bit of extra coverage was required here. Sabatin with a through ball to D'Agostino. This could be dangerous. He'll take a shot. He does across the face, but goes too acute there, and Brujic is able to corral that ball quite easily.
One of the rare times that Mario D'Agostino managed to get away from his shadow there. Berti had just left him for a split second, and Mario gets a good opportunity to cross the ball.
Couture goes up for that ball. It's Chiquetto against Salzin. Benedetti puts one through to Lombardi. This could be dangerous. Joe Lombardi, and there's a shot back. Oh, not sure that came off the Canadian Builders player anyways. We see that Marino Scarcelloni has the ball, and he'll kick it well into the midfield area. Of course, he's up there first. And that ball goes out of play for a throw-in for the Canadian Builders team.
Good defensive play by Maurizio Pressat there. He's playing against a fast, strong player as Joey Lamberti, and he definitely held his ground there and won the battle.
Press now, number 14 with his back towards you. Palladino, who's seen a lot of action in this game. Corsi doesn't take any chances. Launches that ball high in the air. Ashton heading it back. Riccio trying to get it back to Ashton. Unsuccessful in that attempt. Vacaturo gives that one up to Lombardi. Joe Lombardi with Pressat on his back. Joe Lombardi still with a high ball there. A couple players go up. Pressat now gets in there. Still has control of that ball for the Builders. Don Press with the ball. Tries to get it through to Zulic, who lets that ball run for Sabatin, but it's too far. Stephen Riccio now on the far side. Brian Ashton moving up. Riccio surveys the situation. Puts a long ball through to Rinaldi on the sideline, and Rinaldi, unfortunately, it comes off of number 9. I think that's Pino Vecturo. I said Rinaldi, it's Chiquetto. I'm getting these two players mixed up. Ask one of them to get a haircut that's a little different from the other next season. Brian Ashton. Barrett now on the far side. Chiquetto with that ball. Gets it to Ashton. Danny Ashton moving towards the net. He'll cross this one. Scarcelloni's there to corral that ball.
Good low cross by Danny Ashton there, and he had two players in the area. Unfortunately, they didn't read it and were a little late getting there, and Canadian Builders managed to clear, but a nice low cross by Danny Ashton on that.
Press. Trigo's there first. Said this a few times, but you can see number 15 Drigo and number 16 D'Agostino. Drigo has been tailing D'Agostino all game long. Actually, it's happened for the last two games. And we'll continue to see that battle. Drigo again in front of D'Agostino. There's Massimiliano now. Drigo with the ball. Corsi, a through ball there. Pino Vecaturi takes a shot at Massimiliano now looks to the far side. He does. It's Danny Ashton and Steven Riccio. Ashton with that ball. Still with control of that ball moving towards the inside. Nice through ball to Lombardi. Oh, we've got an offside situation. Very close, but the linesman Belly does a good job of calling that offside.
Good offside trap there played by the Canadian Builders that time. We saw the Flyers use this an awful lot in the first half, and that time they were a victim of it.
Sabatin now for the Builders. Press, gets a piece of that ball. Drigo now to Riccio. Maybe a little bit too far, and you can see it's out of touch. Salins, number 5 for the Builders, will retrieve that ball. Long throw in to D'Agostino. Zulic being bumped there by Riccio, and Canadian Builders will reap the benefit of a free kick. Sabatin moving up to take that free kick. Approximately 65 minutes gone in this contest, and it's still a 1-1 game. This is the championship game, and it's being brought to you live on Cable 7. Press takes a shot. It's header, but unfortunately it's on the weak side. Brujic with a high kick. Sabatin retrieves that ball, the inside, back to Sabatin. Nice play by Palladino on the outside of D'Agostino. This could be dangerous. D'Agostino far to the far post. Press takes a shot at Don Press. You can see Don shaking his head, holding his head. He had a great opportunity, but just missed that ball.
Yeah, Don is usually a defenseman, and I think he hesitated there. I wasn't sure if he was going to go with the head there or the foot, and that slight hesitation cost him. But great cross by Mario D'Agostino there. He had moved out to the left wing trying to get away from his check there, and made a nice cross. Donnie Press would love to see that come back. You got a couple of substitutions coming in. You got Stefanuto for the Flyers coming in along with number 10 for the Flyers. Number 10 is Eric Penn. And also it looks like Renato Nicolucci is coming back into the game for the Canadian Builders. Looks like he's going to try playing up front.
So, Brujic will set this one up. This should make things interesting with Renato Nicolucci back in the game. We'll see how extensive his injury is. Long ball launched to the near side here. Couple of players up. Builders with the throw-in now. Pressad to D'Agostino. Guess who's there? Drigo. Massimiliano. Palladino now looking for Nicolucci. Pino Vacadura punches that ball back into the Flyers' end. It's Brian Ashton. Far side to Stefanuto. Zulich is there. He lets that ball run to Eric Penn. Inside to Stefanuto, but Zulich is able to intercept that ball. Now to Nicolucci. Renato Nicolucci loses that one to Corsi. Corsi looks like he's still coming through. Richard Corsi with a good job. On the outside to Benetti, to Joe Lamberti, and Preston's back there. Don Preston's back there to get a piece of the ball. We have a goal kick here for the Builders. Don Prest on your screen. Good job to get back into the play.
Saw some good action there by young Corsi, number 19 for the Flyers, and he's having a much better game than he did yesterday, and it's good to see that because he's an excellent player. Unfortunately, yesterday I thought he didn't play his game, and it's good to see him rebound back today. He's having a great game.
That one comes off of the Drigo, the Flyers player, so the Builders will enjoy another free kick here. Renato Nicolucci looks like his leg is a lot better. Renato will launch this ball. Ashton not taking any chances. That ball comes out of play. Builders with another throw-in. Press on now to Zulich. Zulich being bothered there by Stefanuto, and looks like it came off of Zulich, so the Flyers will get the throw-in.
Play a bit scrambly here now, Frank. Neither team really wants to make a mistake, and they're being awful cautious, and that results in the game being a bit scrambly. And
Palladino now at the ball. Nicolucci. Ghetto now trying to negotiate the turn. Palladino on the inside to Sabatin. Sabatin back to Palladino. Pressed. Von Prest, and gives that one all the way back to Pino Vacatoro. Might have given that one up a bit. And Zubadetta now loses that to D'Agostino, to Zulich. Builders moving ahead. Drigo intercepts that smartly. Got ourselves a free kick here, handball indicated by the referee. So we've got ourselves a dangerous situation here, just about 8 to 9 yards outside of the box. Favor of Canadian Builders.
Yeah, the call that was made was a dangerous play, and it results in an indirect free kick. As you can see, the referee has his arm up for an indirect free kick, so see what kind of play they can come up with on this one.
And the Canadian Builders are masters at these set plays, so we'll see what they try to make out of this situation. See Sabatin and Palladino looking at the line. Should anticipate a shot here. We do off the line. Brian Ashton moving up, moving forward with a couple of defenders in front of him. And Salazar does a good job to get that ball. Eric Penn following up in support, still moving forward. Chips it across the face of the goal. Danny Ashton gets a piece of that ball. He can turn and shoot. Ashton looking to turn, still with that ball. Hanging on to it, being bothered by a couple of Builders players, but able to square up. Gets to the outside, and you can see a bit of a push there off the Zulich, so they'll get a free kick there.
Good job there by Brian Ashton on that counterattack. Canadian Builders only had 2 men back there because they had moved everyone up for the indirect free kick, and got a bit of a break off the wall, and Brian Ashton made a good counterattack.
And takes a shot at that, and unfortunately that goes doesn't go anywhere. Actually, Dan Palladino's there to intercept. Brian Ashton now against Palladino. A bit of a push there by Palladino, and Ashton will take the free kick. Fast free kick to Perrin. That goes right to the goalie. Scarsoloni. Action's picked up a bit here. Scarsoloni decides to slow things down, given his team, which is a little older. We like to use the word mature. But he's giving his team a bit of a breather there. Pressed now. Drigo's in front of that one. Back to Penn. Danny Palladino now, the inside, D'Agostino, Drigo there first. Zuliani, I should say Zulich, but that's a little on the far side. So we've got ourselves another goal kick here. As you can see on the screen, it's the second half. Canadian Builders, Italia Flyers all tied up in the championship game. A winner needs to be determined here this afternoon, and we're prepared to go into overtime and shootouts if necessary. Any way you look at it, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, despite the 1-1 draw at this point. And we've got ourselves another throw-in.
I'm wondering about if it does go into overtime with Renato Nicolucci in there. For it could be risking further injury, and Renato is good at taking penalty shots, so you're risking him getting a further injury. It might be wise maybe to save him for that, but nonetheless, he's out there now, and
Nicolucci with a flick on there, D'Agostino, but it's a little too far. It's Stefanuto now. Stefanuto cranks that ball down the sideline. Looks like Palladino will be there first. Eric Penn now lost that ball to Sabadin. Sabadin back to Zulich with some time and space. Zulich on the inside to Sabadin, back to Zulich. Zulich back to Palladino. Palladino has been all over this field. Chipped through to Nicolucci. He chips it forward, but Rujic is there. Passes it out to Richard Corsi. Flyers trying to capitalize on the transition here. Corsi still moving up. Nice pass to try to Lamberti. They almost got it through, but Press was there. Lamberti now being bothered by Press. Corsi with an opportunity here, gets to Denzo Bedilli. He loses that ball off of. Finally, we've got a call here against the Flyers. Quick pass taken by Ashton. Ooh, hang on a sec. Looks like we may have a handball just at the top of the box, Joey.
that's what it looks like. The referee's right there on the spot, and as you heard, the fans here saw it also. The referee called it. This is very dangerous for the Canadian Builders. We got a couple excellent players out there that could take this would be a direct free kick. Handball is a direct free kick, right?
So we can anticipate that Brian Ashton will line up for this one, as is his brother Danny Ashton to his right and Joe Lamberti to his left. Good left-right combination. And we should also anticipate that this will be a straight shot at the goalkeeper with the possibility of a rebound. Joe Lamberti takes a shot. It's off the wall, as you can see. And that opportunity is lost.
Well, Canadian Builders had virtually everybody back. They have 10 men on the field, actually 9 with the goaltender, not counting the goaltender, and I bet you 8 of them were in the wall there, and that ball went directly into the wall. Should maybe have a little more imagination on those free kicks, especially when you got a wall that size.
Eric Penn now against Sabadin. Zulich now back to Sabadin. Played a good game for the Builders. Corsi's up there first, and that ball goes out of bounds, so we'll get another throw in here for the Builders. Approximately 15 minutes left in this contest. It's still a 1-1 game. Scarcelloni with the ball now. Marino Scarcelloni, the goalkeeper for the Builders. And we'll see this ball launched in the middle of the field at any moment now. Marino taking his time, giving his players an opportunity to rest a bit. As we indicated before, they're minus 1 player as a result of the ejection to Tony Georgie. Brian Ashton now with that ball. Gets it out to Massimiliano, gives that one away to Press. Don Press doing a good job, chips it forward. Brujic's going to have to hang on to that one. He does. D'Agostino, as you can see there, right on him. Drigo now on the far side for the Flyers. Gets it out there to Penn. Penn crosses it over, and again that comes off the line. And we'll see another throw in here for the Builders. Zulich with the throw in. Sabadin back to Sellen. Chips it forward to D'Agostino. Drigo's there first. Palladino now with that ball for the Builders. Through ball to Nicolucci. Massimiliano's there to bother him. It's Palladino one more time. Good job by Chiquetto to get that ball. Passes it on the inside of Corsi. Corsi looking for some options here. Press now cranks that ball back in there. Drigo against D'Agostino. Stefanuto on the far side there, and he'll crank that ball out of play.
Frank, what I'm seeing here, I'm not sure I like about the Flyers. They're not really taking advantage of the extra man they have out there. They're actually, Canadian Builders have been the better team since the ejection, and I'm sure that's frustrating Vince Pinella, coach of the Flyers, and unfortunately, not like in hockey or basketball or some of these other sports, there are no times out and no timeout can be called, so that if there's any corrections got to be made, it's got to be made by the players on the field. This is where someone like Brian Ashton, a leader, or Danny Ashton, someone out there has got to take charge and start talking to some of these young players and say, look, we got that extra man, let's start doing some attacking here and some moving into the spaces, and because they do have the extra man.
So we've got a corner kick here for the Builders, I should say. Danny Palladino teeing that ball up. And as we've learned from the previous game, these are dangerous times for the Flyers, who've lost the majority of corner kicks. Low one coming in across the face. Brian Ashton's there first. Sabatin will take another crack at this. It's Palladino making the turn there. He'll chip it in front. It's off of Corsi, though. And we'll see another corner kick here for the Canadian Builders.
On the last corner kick, they tried to go to the near post where Robert Zulich would just flick it on, and then you have a player like Mario D'Agostino or Renato Nicolucci, who scored on a play like this yesterday, coming in on the far post. So very dangerous, very set play.
Long ball, far post, Nicolucci up. Brian Ashton's there first. Pressut now overruns the ball. Brian Ashton doing battle with him. Pressut with that ball. Zulich, and finally just gets rid of it. Didn't like what he saw there and decided just to crank it out smartly. Danny Palladino, Canadian Builders continue to apply pressure despite the one-man shorthanded. And here's Zulich, a nice pass to D'Agostino. This will be a shot on net. He does. Oh, right off the post. Mario D'Agostino off the post. You can't get any closer than that in any game that has net.
Yeah, again, a good play by Mario there. Had his head up all the way. Good play by the goaltender. Mario got away from his check. Bertie Drigo at that time had to commit to another player. Great ball on the wing. Good shot by Mario, and off the goaltender hit the post. We're going to see this on the replay, Frank. There's that through ball to Mario. Mario D'Agostino's going to run onto the ball. It's a perfect ball. Good shot by the left foot. And we don't see the goaltender's hand on it, but I'm sure he touched it.
Danny Palladino with another cross. Brujic gets a piece of that. Steven Brujic punches it out, gets it right back in his lap. Pino Vacaturo up for that one. Heads it back. Corsi looking for Lamberti. Back to Vacaturo. Nice pass to Nicolucci by Press. Brian Ashton now having to retrieve that ball, gets it to the outside. Prest is there again. Nicolucci inside to Zulich. Canadian Builders continue to apply pressure despite the short-hand situation that they're in. Sabatin now on the inside to Zulich. Long pass again to Sabatin. This could be dangerous. Sabatin and Brujic does a good job to get in front of that one. Steven Brujic.
I can't understand how the Canadian Builders are getting these guys free. They're down by one man, but they're running into the space and they're getting free, and the Flyers are allowing them to do this.
Salazan, nice long pass to Zulich on the inside to Sabatin. Back to Zulich. Zulich back to Palladino, still having their way in the midfield. Drigo in front of D'Agostino, but D'Agostino is able to corral that ball, gets it out to Zulich. Nice positional play by the Builders. You see them playing the ball square. Another square pass over here to Prest, who heads it back to Nicolucci. Smiliano's there, and Prest is able to get that ball successfully for the Builders and passes it back to Vacaturo. Vacaturo gives that one up to Corsi and then gets it right back off the foot of Joe Lamberti, you see on your screen there. Richard Corsi trying to set Lamberti up, but Pino Vacaturo, as you see, backing up in his net, does a good job to get there first.
Yes, good play by Pino there because he had two Flyer forwards up and could have been very dangerous there.
Alan Cicchetto now, Angelo Cicchetto, I should say. And Brian Ashton now in the midfield. Brian over here to Cicchetto. Got Lamberti on the near side. Joe Lamberti, Pino moving up. This will be across the face. Danny Ashton taking a shot at that. Almost. Finally, it's D'Agostino losing that one to Cicchetto. Corsi doing battle against D'Agostino Couple of players up for it again. D'Agostino prevails, gets it to Nicolucci. Massimiliano comes in. The things are getting desperate. Finally, it's Zulich now to Prest on this side. Don Prest moving to the inside now, being challenged there by Chiquetto. Stefanuto. Nice heel back by Lamberti to Chiquetto. Chiquetto's got Danny Ashton to his right. Nice stop by Chiquetto. Crosses it to Enzo Benedetti, but Salazar's there. Richard Corsi recovering for a bit of a knock in the midfield. Chipped up ball back. Looks like it is handled easily there by Scarsoloni, who kicks that ball out as we got a couple of players lying on the pitch. Two of them to be exact. Don Prest there on your screen.
Looks like both players got a bit of a leg injury, and I think they bumped into each other there on one of the tackles that happened there. But what we're seeing in the last couple of minutes is a Flyer team that's really attacking on the wing, and this is what they had to be doing right from about 10-20 minutes ago when they ended up being a man stronger because of the ejection to the Canadian Builders team. And hopefully they'll continue on this, because if they're going to have any success, that's what they have to do.
So referee Pescio Severnek says, let's get back into full swing of this game. Calls the teams up.
Frank, while we have this break, I have a message here on behalf of Mike Dowling, president of the Senior Men's League, and he would like to thank, on behalf of the Sudbury Senior Men's League, he'd like to thank Cable 7 and the crew of Monday Night Soccer for their support, and it's greatly appreciated, and we've loved bringing this to you. Thank you.
Scarsoloni with a long kick well into the Flyers' end. Drigo's up there first, gets it back nicely to Stefanuto. Stefanuto to Benedetti, far side. Enzo Benedetti now with a through ball to Danny Ashton. Pino Vectura is against him. Danny Ashton looks like he may prevail. This is a cross, and Scarsoloni does a good job of pouncing that ball. Danny Ashton, you can see him behind. Scarsoloni upset with that effort.
Yeah, a few minutes back we saw the same attack from this left side from Joey Lamberti, and now we see it from the right side from Ashton. And again, this is what the Flyers have to do. They have the speed, they have it on the outside. Let's use it. You have to use your strengths in any sport. You use your strengths, and Flyers are finally doing that here now.
We've got approximately 7 minutes left in this contest, regulation time. Anytime you get this late in a contest, especially in soccer, what you in essence have is the equivalent of overtime, because any team that scores now is almost assured a victory. Dan Palladino saw a lot of action in midfield, and so is Richard Corsi trying to retrieve that ball. Corsi against Palladino. Corsi prevails this time. He's got Riccio on the near side. Claudio Riccio now looking for Lamberti. Danny Ashton comes off of Danny Ashton. Salazar now kicks it away. Nicolucci with that ball. Massimiliano chase. Finally, it's Drigo there. Tries to get it to Massimiliano, but it's out of bounds. That ball looks like it came off a press, so we will see the throw in here by the Flyers. Mike Massimiliano, number 6, with his back towards you. Gets it to Claudio Rossi. Pino Vectura now in chase. Off of Riccio, I should say. Pressa now back to the goalie, Scarsoloni. My sense is, Joey, the longer this game goes, given the experience of the Canadian Builders, the advantage, I suspect, might swing to them a bit here. Salazar. Sabatin now looking for Prest. Riccio gets in front of that one. Looking for Lamberti here against Pressat. Lamberti gets away with this one on the sideline, keeps it in. A couple of players in chase, slips unfortunately, still gets possession of the ball. Palladino now gets that one to Pressat. Pressat gives that one to Riccio. Corsi, I should say, or Corsi now with the ball, tries to get that one through, still in chase against Pressat. A couple of slide tackles there. Finally, Massimiliano moves up for the Flyers, and Mike D'Agostino retrieves the rebound there. Back to Salazar, who chips that ball high in the air. Nicolucci now. Drigo pumping that ball in the air one more time. Couple of players up. Finally, it's Pressat. Comes off of Riccio. Riccio on the inside to Benedetto. Loses that ball. Hang on, we've got a free kick awarded here, says the referee, Pescio Severnek. 4 minutes left in this contest. Brian Ashton with a quick kick to Danny Ashton. Loses that one to Vacaduro. That ball is going to the sidelines. Well, we've got a break in the action. I just want to remind the viewers of the St. Charles Soccer Club Indoor Soccer League. And this year they've got mixed boys and girls under 12, under 14, and under 16 league. And I'll give you some more information on that in a minute. Riccio now to Lamberti. Lamberti being brought up to press that. Nice heel back to Riccio, and that comes across the face of the 18-yard line. Salazin kicks that ball out of play. And all of those teams and players interested in the Indoor Soccer League, again, ages 12, 14, and 16 in terms of their respective divisions, they can register on Saturday, October the 5th between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Another ball that goes out there. Zulich for the Builders. Palladino, Robert Palladino, having seen a lot of action, gets bumped there by Ashton. Quick pass to Nicolucci. Nicolucci looking for D'Agostino, chips it through. That might be just too far for Mario D'Agostino. Stephen Brucic will hold this ball up. Brian Ashton now. Long reaching ball by Ashton. Enzo Bedetta now with the ball, still with control. Ashton now, Danny Ashton with the ball for the Flyers. Looking for a couple of options. Gets it to Corsi here on the near side. Corsi a long switch over there to Stefanuto. Looks like Eric Penn is able to retrieve that ball. See if Eric can do anything with it. Off of Salazin. Benedetti takes a shot at this. Oh, it's gone! No, it's just wide of them. Oh, I thought that one was going in.
I think you and about 100 fans out there, Frank, thought it was going in. Just bounced in front of Marino. Unfortunately, he just watched it. All he could do was watch it go wide, but a good shot by Penn there on a turnaround and almost cut the goaltender. As a matter of fact, he did cut the goaltender just wide.
They're going to take a shot at this. The ball's bouncing. There's another opportunity. Oh, and looks like, who's that player there? Massimiliano, I think. Two near opportunities there. Mike Massimiliano running back to his defensive position. You can see the Italia Flyers defense are well into the play now. And that's about as close as you'll get in terms of a goal. I thought it was in, but needless to say, it went wide of the far post. Nicolucci now doing battle against Massimiliano, and you can see a bit of push from behind, and we'll get a free kick here to the Canadian Builders. Nicolucci electing to slow things down a little bit. Said it a few times, we'll say it again. The Canadian Builders playing shorthanded as a result of the ejection of Tony Giorgi. And so they're playing a man less, but the contest has been a fairly even contest. The ball's in the box, but nothing becomes of it. It's Drigo now with the ball. Drigo kicks it out, trying to get Joe Lamberti. It's off a press out in the middle. Press now to Nicolucci. Massimiliano gets in front of that one. Zulich on the far side for D'Agostino, but that's too far. And I also, just to finish off on the indoor season, we want to mention that there's also an adult division, approximately 16 teams, and the first meeting will take place on Wednesday, October the 9th to set that up, and that's again at the St. Charles Auditorium at 7 p.m. So we've got a lot of indoor soccer. In fact, it's growing by leaps and bounds every year, and if you're interested and you can't remember anything I just told you, you should call St. Charles College and ask for Lloyd Ribeiro or John Sikora. See a bit of obstruction there against Joe Lamberti. We're down to the last 1 or 2 minutes. This is into referee's time, or injury time as we say. And as we indicated to you before, that if this game does not result in a victor or in regulation time, we are going to 2 15-minute overtime periods. There's a ball in front. D'Agostino takes a shot. This is unbelievable. Virtually into overtime. Mario D'Agostino gets an errant ball in the box, and as you can see there on your screen, he puts it into the near post. And Canadian Builders are up 2-1.
Well, that's right, Frank, and it's actually, I think it's in not in regulation time, it's in injury time, and what a blow for the Flyers. But again, that high cross High cross coming in. We're going to see a replay on this, and Mario D'Agostino, who has been shadowed. He's been shadowed by Birdie all night, but he got free on that one, and that's, I guess, all you need. Got a 1-goal lead by the Builders now, and virtually they're, like I say, they're in injury time.
So with only a minute or so left in this contest, the Canadian Builders again pull this one out of the fire with a man short into injury time. They capitalize on a miscue in front of the box, and Mario D'Agostino is jolly in the spot, and they enjoy a 2-1 lead. Flyers literally have only seconds here somehow to get back in this game. We'll see if they can do this. Nicolucci against Burt. Trigo gets that ball, and there you see the referee has blown the end of the match. And we'll be right back after these brief messages to give you the wrap-up and the presentation of the championship trophy.
Well, Basso and Joey Presta back from live actions at Queen Leg Field. The Canadian Builders have just received their trophy. Joey, what can we say? The Canadian Builders do it again.
Oh, what a great game. Actually, a great two games, yesterday and today. 1-1 tie right till the final minute. Actually, it was past regulation time. It was in injury time. Mario D'Agostino gave the Canadian Builders a 2-1 victory here at Queen's Athletic Field today. But a great game. Lots of action in the midfield. Two good teams going at it, playing good, tough, hard soccer. Great soccer.
Excellent game, and we just want to, in closing, say thank you to Mike Dowling in the league for providing excellent action. Also to Cable 7 and broadcasting the Senior Men's Soccer League. Until next year, we'll catch you again.